Hi, I'm Amber with Solutions for Simplicity. This channel is all about planning, productivity, and purposeful living. I got a request to walk you step by step through how I make my to-do list and schedule all of the moving pieces of my life into my planner. So that's what I want to do in this video, and the timing could not be more perfect because my life has been complete chaos the last few weeks. So many big hard things have happened, not just in the last few weeks, but the last couple months in general. And then to top it off, I am 8 months pregnant with my fourth baby. So I'm feeling super behind, very stressed, incredibly exhausted, and just not my normal self. Planning and organizing and really figuring out where to focus my limited time and energy is going to help me get everything put back in place. So I'm going to take you with me on this journey. I hope you find this process helpful. Give this video a thumbs up if you do, subscribe for weekly videos, and then check out the links in the description for some additional planning and productivity resources. All right, so I have my planner right here, but sadly I did not have this with me when I was called out of town for the last couple of weeks. So I'm incredibly behind on what was supposed to have happened, and I now have tons of different pieces of notes and just to-dos, tasks everywhere. So my very first step today is going to be to gather all of those pieces of paper, all the things that I tell you constantly not to do, right? You want to keep your to-do list organized in one place, and that has not been possible for me the last couple of weeks. So I am gonna grab a bunch of stuff, make a big old pile, and then we'll move on. Okay, so I have gathered all of my little bits of notes and papers and random things I was writing down as I was thinking of them. I also have my phone because when I didn't have pen and paper nearby, I was entering all kinds of tasks and thoughts to myself in my notes app on my phone. So I have gathered all of these things, all of the miscellaneous things that I think need to happen. And my next step is always to create one master to-do list in, I prefer a Word document. You can definitely do this by hand, but I will go through and I'll show you how I like to dump everything out. The first step is really to just do this brain dump of anything and everything that I either already know needs to happen or that I think of as I'm going through that needs to happen. And then I will later go back and reorganize it. So let's dive in. So right off the bat, I know that I have some general categories of my life that I can sort my tasks into. So I'm going to start by putting out those general categories. Whichever categories you like to use or are applicable to your situation. There's no right or wrong rhyme or reason here, but I like to just start out with some general kind of buckets, if you will, that I will then fill up with the various tasks that I encounter. Right now, I'm going to go through each little note and reminder that I have written out here and just start brain dumping everything that could possibly fall under this list. One other thing that's really helpful as you are doing this brain dump is to go ahead and write down any due date associated with a particular task right at this stage so that from the get-go, you can start seeing what kinds of things need to happen by when. There's no huge method to the madness here. As you can see, this is literally just getting every single thought out of my head or off of paper and into one coherent place. I'm going back and forth between categories just based on whatever I see in front of me or as I think of it in the moment. One of the other ways I'm so scattered is that I have multiple computers for different aspects of my job, one for teaching, one for research, another for my side business. And so I have several files and tasks on my school computer that I need to transfer over into this to-do list. So let's do that. All right, and the final piece is to figure out what has happened in my planner and then what still needs to happen. So I'm gonna take things out of my planner that did not get done on time, put them back into my to-do list, and then we'll move on. All right, I ran out of time yesterday to finish organizing my to-do list all in one sitting, but I was successfully able to get all of the different tasks transferred from pieces of note paper and my phone and all the little scraps of everything that I had over into one Word document. So let's pick up where we left off. It's now the next day. I'm a little bit more put together, starting to feel more like my normal self and getting back on my feet. But anyway, I still have so much clarifying to do about all the different things that need to happen in the next couple of weeks. So the next step is then to take everything that I have laid out in these different categories, confirm the deadline, and then assess each task according to its urgency versus importance. So you will see I'm going to start rearranging these various tasks based on their level of what needs to happen and when, in order to try and prioritize the more important things while still meeting the deadlines for the most urgent things coming up. So once again, what I have here is just anything and everything I could think of that needs to happen, but it's just sort of laid out in this brain dump format according to the different categories of responsibilities that I have in my life. So I'm going to go back through, again, I was trying to put deadlines down, but I'm now going to rearrange things based on what I know is most important. And so again, this is something that is a little bit more subjective, not always easy to give a precise formula for. But if you are looking for more information on how to assess what is urgent versus important, you can check out these other videos that I made, and then I'll put links in the description again to my Pinpoint Your Priorities playbook that gives you so much more detail on all of this. So again, I am just reorganizing everything based on the perceived order of importance, and also including the deadline or the things that need to happen first right up at the top of the list under each category. From here, what I'm going to do is apply my signature 5Ds formula that I've spoken about elsewhere to really run through and most critically assess what I truly have to do. Because on the surface, everything here looks like it could or should get done. And yes, it's all organized and orderly in terms of importance versus urgency, but there are still only so many hours in the day, and I am not 100% all of those hours, right? So taking your time and energy into account, we have to get really focused. The 5Ds formula is as follows. You want to ask yourself, what can I drop? So first and foremost, what can I just strike off altogether, right? It's really not important or not urgent or just something that, maybe shouldn't even be on the to-do list in the first place. Second D, step number 2, is to think about what you can defer. What can you just punt down the road? Something that would be really great to get done, but there's no real deadline or time frame that must be attached. Thirdly, what can you delegate? What can you ask other people to help with? It's so hard to ask for help, but it's also so important, and it's all the more essential for me these days that I focus on my zone of specialty and really do the things that only I can do, whereas I then pass off to others and ask for help in the areas that other people could step in. The fourth D is to think about what you can dumb down. This is where I have really found so much success in terms of maximizing my productivity and really balancing the different areas of my life, because if there is something that still absolutely has to get done by you, right? Nobody else can do it, which again, we need to really critically assess and make sure that is indeed the case, and we're not just trying to be nice or avoid being a burden, or we're afraid to ask for help. But if there is something that genuinely needs to happen by you, chances are really good that it doesn't have to happen at your full 100 or 200% capacity, right? You can dumb it down, you can speed it up, you can do whatever it takes to just make done good enough, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. And as a recovering perfectionist, this has been so hard for me to implement over the years. And yet again, I have just seen such tremendous results from pushing myself to think about ways that I can get simple things done even faster, right? That it doesn't have to be my utmost best work. Some things do require my best work, right? But I need to reserve my precious time and energy precisely for those things. And everything else, I just need to be okay cutting the cord and saying, the check mark, the crossing off the to-do list is good. So I'm going to look for things that I can dumb down. And then the few remaining things are going to be the items that must get done, not only by me, but must be done well, must really, really be done with everything I have to give in that moment. So I'm going to go through and show you how I do that now. Oh, and I should mention that I have been working on putting together a super special resource for you. There will be a PDF template, and then ideally someday even a physical notepad that you could purchase that lays out this 5Ds formula, what I call my pinpoint your priorities framework, and gives you a kind of the ability to go through each of your tasks, really ask yourself these questions, and then pinpoint precisely what falls into each category, so you have your clear marching orders for the things that have to absolutely be done at the best of your ability, and you can then let go of or relax your standards on all the rest.
All right, so let's start at the very tip top here. Obviously, I am the only one that can send this document that I have to my TA, but that's going to be something that is really, really simple. So I am going to go ahead and mark that. We'll just do yellow for dumb down. Update office hours availability. That is definitely something that I can do very quickly. Remind my students, post slides and previous class material online. I need to do that, but I can do it very quickly. Finish grading online tests. That is something that, while I ordinarily would do, in this case, I'm very fortunate to have a teaching assistant this semester, so I'm going to actually put that into the delegate category. We'll do green for delegate. And while I'm at it, let me just go ahead and put a little key up here. I know what colors I use, but I'll use the key so that you can see what I'm doing. So drop, defer, delegate, dumb down, and do well. Those are the 5Ds. Let's get some formatting going a little bit better here. All right, so drop, we will make this cross off. I like to do, to defer, I'm going to use blue. To delegate, I am going to use, again, green. Things that have to happen by me, but I'm going to dumb down, I will use yellow. And then anything that has to be done well by me, I'm going to use this pink color. All right, so I can quickly send these assignments that has to be dumbed down, grade the online tests. That for this particular class can be delegated, again, thankfully, to my TA. I need to finish grading my other classes' exams. And, I really, obviously, that's a big part of my job, right? And I love the teaching aspect. Grading takes a lot of time, but I really need to focus and give that the time that it's due. I have prior resources for writing this quiz, and it's an online quiz, so I can grade it really quickly. I will go ahead and put dumb down for those. Grade the group projects that are coming in later in the semester. That will take a lot of time. Post these final paper instructions. And let's see, I will also need to grade these papers, and that will need to be done well. Okay, writing a letter of recommendation. I want to do that well for this student as she's applying for future opportunities. And then I can quickly look over something that a student had a question about her grade on. Okay, so that's an example of how I go through each of my tasks, which are, again, already in order of importance and kind of what most needs to happen. But by using this 5Ds framework, I have a better sense of how much time and energy I can/will allot for each of these tasks. And so before I then transfer my to-do list into my planner, I want to have a sense of, how much time each of these things is going to take. I'm going to quickly go through and follow this same formula for each of the other categories. And let's see here. Just to kind of walk you through this process, I have a manuscript that is accepted for publication, and I just have a few formatting things that my co-author needs to return to me, but I can follow up with her. So that will be something I can hopefully do quickly and that she can then, return back to me. I definitely need to focus on finalizing the plan for finishing the book manuscript that I've been writing forever and has been thrown off by pandemic and a million other things. Let's see, obviously I need to do these online trainings, but I've done them every year, right? I know what is expected, so I can dumb that down. I need to spend a fair amount of time going through some job candidate files for a position that we're interviewing for at my university. Then I've got a whole bunch of online Zoom interviews to attend for those meetings. This one, I was really fortunate to receive a university award for my research, but that I can actually, I can definitely defer it. I'm considering dropping it altogether. It's something that I will ultimately want to put on my CV, but it's not really that critical, right? I could come back to her anytime and verify the specifics of that. I need to get help with my VPN, but again, that's going to have to be deferred for a little bit. Finalizing this sabbatical proposal, I'm then going to move up based on what we've determined, and that is something that obviously needs to be done well. After I was granted tenure, I'm eligible for a semester of sabbatical leave, which is not time off, but it's time to focus exclusively on research. And I want to have a really good proposal to share with my dean and my provost about why I should receive this semester of research leave. Due by December 31st. So ideally, this will definitely happen before baby comes. All right, cleaning out the car seats, I can do pretty quickly, right? It's not a fun job, it needs to happen. Installing the baby's car seat, I am going to delegate that to my husband. I can quickly go through the birth kit. I've got to order some food for our family. We love Vitacost because of all our allergies and dietary issues, so I can quickly do that. Buying baby diapers, I'm gonna delegate. Washing the baby clothes, I don't know. I mean, technically I could defer this. I could definitely delegate it. I think right now I'm going to defer it. I have a few things that the baby can be in immediately, and then we'll just sort of see when baby comes. Testing the baby monitor, again, can be deferred. Finding a cleaning lady is one of those things that would be nice, but is not mandatory. So I just for my own sanity, I'd love to try and do this quickly and get that done. Meal plan and prep, I'm honestly at this point just going to drop because I know it would make postpartum life really easy. but it just doesn't feel like a huge priority right now. I may regret that decision a little bit later when baby comes, but still. Organizing, cleaning the master closet, cleaning out my office, those are things that are they would just be wonderful to get done, but I'm not going to stress about them with everything else going on. And then a Goodwill donation. I can delegate that drop off. I've got a few things already. Obviously, I would have more if I went through my house, but we will just let that go. All right. Some of these things need to happen. They need to happen by me, but they all are hopefully pretty quick. So most of these things I'm just going to put as things I can dumb down and just need to be crossed off, right? I really do need to get them done before baby comes. My husband's birthday is coming up. I really want to think of something very special for him. Filling out my November goals. That should have been done before November, but with everything that happened, I'm just going to cross it off and not worry about it for right now. Let's see. Thank you notes definitely can do fast. Might even delegate them if I need to. Christmas cards, I'm gonna have to defer, right? I know sometimes Christmas cards come after Christmas. We'll just see. The Amazon baby registry technically doesn't need to happen, but I love their welcome box, so I'd love to just do it quick sometime when I can. Ideally, I wanted to be all ready for Christmas before baby came, but we will see. So I'm going to actually put defer on this and just kind of wait a few weeks and see how things pan out. Setting up my new printer, updating the will. That's definitely, I mean, it's not that these aren't important, but things that I could defer for now. Reordering items that got canceled. You know what? It's a long story as to why they got canceled. Had to do with me going out of town, but I just can't even worry about that right now. So I'm going to take those off, and I should really update my iPhone for security reasons. But again, like, ain't nobody got time for that right now, right? Need to make sure the kids are all caught up from school. These are all things that I can dumb down. Ordering winter clothes for the boys. Those could technically be ordered, you know, after baby comes. So I'm going to wait on that. I do want to get my kids signed up for Christmas camp. It's so hard, but since my husband will continue to need to work and I will be in postpartum maternity leave, I don't know, we'll kind of see what Christmas looks like when the kids are off of school. I need to schedule the kids' well visit, but that's a year away. So we'll do that. Plan a sleepover for the kids and a day with my son to celebrate his birthday. I am going to let's see, sleepover, all those things. You know, family is so important, and I've been needing to do this for my kids, so that will be important. Ordering school pictures, I can defer. I think I have until the spring, so there we go. All right, and then last but not least, little things I'd love to do for my business. Let me see here. Definitely need to respond to my planner picker survey. I'll put that link in the description if you want to check it out. It's where I help you figure out which planner best fits all the needs and the desires that you have for finding the perfect planner. All of these kind of business things I can do pretty quickly. And I do want to do them, love to stay on top of the admin and financial and legal aspects of running a business, side business. And then I am so excited. I've filmed a bunch of these planner videos, but I need to edit them and get them out on my YouTube channel as soon as possible, especially because these companies have, you know, collaborated with me. I'm very, very thrilled. So I want to do that well. Plan Black Friday offers. That is something that I'm just going to have to do quickly as best that I'm able. Okay, sorry, I, as you saw, was actually interrupted by a phone call, the eye doctor, where I had left a message to schedule an eye exam. And so thankfully that is now something that I can go ahead and cross off of my list, right? Just delete it all together because now it's done. It's taken care of. So sorry about the interruption. Let's see, I have a couple things that I really have been working on forever, want to finish. They definitely need to get done well, but the other things, right, I can just ultimately defer them. These are awesome things that I aspire to do to make my business everything that it can be and offer the most I can offer to you. But there's only so much time and energy, right? So these aren't technically things that have to happen before my baby comes. I will go ahead and defer all of these, even though it pains me to do that, right? If I had nothing else going on, this is what I would do full time, but that's not my reality. I am a full-time working mom with a real job, right? Another job, my university responsibilities, plus mom of 3, soon to be 4. It is what it is. And other video ideas, these were just things that I was brain dumping, but I'm definitely going to put those off. They're all things that I want to do for you and for my YouTube channel. But now I have a list of things that are, again, not just important versus urgent, but kind of I've used my 5Ds framework to figure out what really has to happen at the best of my ability.
The next step is that now that I have applied the 5Ds framework, I am going to finally start adding each of these tasks to my planner. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'll walk you through actually putting these tasks from my to-do list into my planner. All right, so I have my Tools for Wisdom planner here. I've mentioned this in other review videos. I'm just obsessed with it. I love so much about the Tools for Wisdom layout, which I will show you in a second. I have my pack of colored pens that I use to color code different kinds of tasks according to the categories of my life. And then I just want to show you that I have the final to-do list pulled up here, and I'm going to start transferring tasks over into my planner, but I'm only going to focus on the things that have to be done by me, the things that are either going to be dumbed down or done well. Okay, let me first get my different pens out here. Different colors for different things. Highly recommend color coding. I've talked about this in other videos, and it just does so much to help you visually see what needs to happen at different times. All right, then let's flip to November. You can see this was one of the things that I desperately wanted to fill out, but haven't had a chance yet. I will hopefully come back to that at some point. But the daily layout here looks as such, and you can see that I have crossed off a bunch of things that I've been able to do. What I'm going to do is go ahead and get to this week and then take everything from my final to-do list and transfer it to the to-do list space that is here in the planner. That is how I do my to-do list, how I organize all the different tasks and ideas and things that I both need and want to happen, especially when time and energy are so limited, so precious, and life has just been crazy, right? I'm feeling so behind, and yet I only have a few weeks before my life changes with the addition of this sweet new little baby. But this is the general process that I use anytime I'm going to plan. And it again just walked you step by step through taking any tasks that you have, really organizing them in your to-do list, and then planning them out in a planner in terms of when you're going to actually fit them into your schedule. I hope you found this helpful. I know it was kind of long and in depth, but ultimately this is how I plan and organize my life. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. Remember to subscribe for weekly videos on planning, productivity, and purposeful living, and then jump straight into these other videos to get more of my top planning tips. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Have a great day.